This video is going to be full of spoilers, chunky spoilers all over this thing. So if you haven't watched Spider-Man No Way Home, please just don't watch this video because you're going to ruin it for yourself.
Yeah,
but
don't do that.
If you have watched Spider-Man No Way Home or you don't care about spoilers, then continue to hang out with us here in this video. We're going to be talking about Andrew Garfield's participation in the Spider-Verse going forward.
Woo!
I feel like we can say with confidence, not with full certainty, but with confidence that Andrew Garfield is coming back. Now, we've got a few articles here that I'm going to share with you guys. I also want to discuss my feelings on why I think that he's going to come back. So just based on empirical evidence of talking to people every time we went to watch this movie, because we watched it 3 times, it seems like Andrew Garfield stole the show. And people really want him back.
Yes, or at the very least, if he didn't steal the show, he stole the scene he was in.
Right.
You know, because I know that there are a lot, scenes. I know that there were a lot of people who were like, wait, no, but this is also Tom Holland's best movie. Come on now, like it's not just Andrew Garfield.
What I have noticed is that we are in an age where the fans really get what they want, as evidenced by Sonic, as evidenced by just this movie, No Way Home, where you got all 3 Spider-Men together. Like we really wanted, you know, Tobey and Andrew Garfield in this film, and we got it.
Yeah, but I mean, that's fair because the fans are the ones that are shelling out the money for the tickets, and the studio is going, money.
Going as far back as Firefly, we got the movie after the show got canceled. So there are instances where the fans get what they want. Justice League is a perfect example.
Right,
you know?
the Snyder Cut.
The Snyder Cut.
Yeah.
And so anyway, here we've got some articles. The first one is from gamingbible.co.uk, fans petition for The Amazing Spider-Man 3 with Andrew Garfield. Now, petitions don't always mean a heck of a lot.
A lot of people petitioned for a redo of season 8 of Game of Thrones.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. Game of Thrones is an instance where the fans didn't get what they wanted. A lot of people petitioned for it. It didn't go anywhere.
There is still time.
But this is still indicative of just the feeling, the desires of people and what they're willing to pay to see. So have we all seen Spider-Man No Way Home yet? Judging by the latest MCU flicks, impressive box office numbers, I'm going to assume that the majority of people reading this have. Did you know it's at $750 million worldwide already?
Whoa.
That's what I read somewhere. Now, correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but that is, as of this recording, that's what I read, was 750 mil worldwide already.
Considering we're in a pandemic, that's pretty amazing.
How good was Andrew Garfield in No Way Home? Tom Holland and Tobey Maguire were obviously incredible, but it was Garfield reprising his role from the Amazing Spider-Man movies that really stole the show in my eyes. The Oscar-nominated actor who played Spidey from 2012 to 2014 radiated a love for the character that was beautiful to see. If you know anything about Garfield, you'll know he genuinely adores Spider-Man, and that the franchise falling apart and being rebooted prematurely during his tenure ultimately broke his heart. No Way Home gave Garfield a second chance, and by God, he grabbed it with both hands. Seeing Tobey Maguire again was a treat, obviously. But Garfield had unfinished business.
Yeah. The man came in with a goal, you know? He's like, I'm going to make the fans love me until they beg for me to come back.
Perhaps that's why less than a day after No Way Home's first screening, The Amazing Spider-Man 3 started trending online, with Garfield once again reminding us all just how truly fantastic he is as Peter Parker. The internet has fired up the old petition machine in an effort to get him the 3rd solo movie that was canceled all those years ago.
Yes.
Obviously, none of this is confirmed, but I feel like it's all but guaranteed.
Yeah.
At this point, like with this kind of thing, I'm pretty sure Sony is seeing dollar signs.
That's what I'm talking about. You know, when the fans are clamoring and making a loud hubbub about this all, then they need to pay attention because this is what we want to see.
Well, we're going to address that in a couple of articles going forward. It's time to give Andrew Garfield the long overdue Amazing Spider-Man 3 film that he deserves.
Yes.
I would do anything to see the Amazing Spider-Man 3.
Anything?
Give me the Amazing Spider-Man 3! At present, there are rumblings Sony may have more for Andrew Garfield to do as Spider-Man in the future, but these reports don't have any real substance just yet. So let's move on. Plans to Sony reportedly plans to bring back Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man.
This is from Screen Geeks.
Screen Greeks. The release of Spider-Man No Way Home also marked the return of Andrew Garfield, Spider-Man, a character we previously saw in The Amazing Spider-Man 2. For a while, it seemed like fans would never see the character's story continued, but No Way Home proved otherwise. Now it appears that Sony is reportedly planning to bring back the character after he was so positively received in the new MCU film. This comes from insider Daniel Richtman, who has received claims from multiple sources on the matter, have all indicated that Andrew Garfield might come back, as well as the actor could actually come back for multiple projects.
Ooh.
With the Marvel Cinematic Universe's ongoing focus on the multiverse, this isn't much of a surprise. The concept allowed them to bring back not only Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man for No Way Home, but also Tobey Maguire's take on the character. As such, it seems as though there are no shortage of possibilities for any of the characters moving forward. We could see The Amazing Spider-Man 3, another crossover with the MCU, or even a crossover with Sony's other Spider-Man characters like alien symbiote Venom. Sony reportedly courting Andrew Garfield for multiple Spider-Man projects.
Oh, balls in your court, Andrew.
Every Marvel fan is losing their mind after seeing Spider-Man No Way Home, dubbed the best Marvel movie by countless critics and fans. Well, I wouldn't go so far as to say it's the best Marvel movie, okay? Let's slow your roll a little bit, but it was sure damn exciting. After a multiverse adventure, numerous reports suggest that Sony Pictures are in talks to bring back superhero legend Andrew Garfield as Spider-Man for multiple upcoming projects. No Way Home is on track to becoming one of the most profitable and well-received superhero movies in Marvel collection history.
Do you think that Sony is going, hi, Disney? We beat you.
Well, that's the thing, isn't it? No, because the thing about it is Sony has this weird contract and obligation to keep making Spider-Man films, or otherwise they lose the rights to Spider-Man. That's why they rebooted Spider-Man as quickly as they did, because they had to.
Oh.
And so, you didn't know that. Okay, no. So that's why, like, Sony's damn excited. They're like, oh, everyone likes Andrew Garfield. We'll make more Andrew Garfield movies so we can keep the rights.
It makes sense that they're so excited because it's actually successful as well. So they're like, oh.
Twitter is exploding with Andrew Garfield, with countless fans starting a Snyder Cut-inspired campaign to reinstate the Amazing Spider-Man 3, Garfield's canceled Spider-Man movie. Now, however, fans might not need to do a thing, as Sony is reportedly in talks to bring back Garfield for multiple Spider-Man projects. Since the record-breaking debut of Spider-Man No Way Home, nearly every Marvel fan has taken to social media to express their love for Andrew Garfield's portrayal and demand that he receive another Marvel. Can you imagine? Sony wants fan favorite trio to reunite as soon as possible.
Oh, I'm down for a three-way.
That every guy wants to hear that. The Marvel universe has changed for good, and every Marvel fan can't wait to see what's in store after Spider-Man No Way Home. With the movie's barely out, we're already talking about the next, 3 movies. With game-changing cameos and special appearances by legendary superheroes, Sony's reportedly looking to reunite the fan favorite trio as soon as possible. No Way Home changed everything about the Marvel Cinematic Universe, especially with I would argue that Into the Spider-Verse did that first.
That's true. But it was also Sony.
And it was, yes, also. What started as a fan's dream surprisingly became a reality, and now there are more reports that another Spider trio team up between Maguire, Garfield, and Tom Holland are soon to be in the works. Spider-Man news accounts, Spider-Man leaks confirm from various sources that Sony Pictures wants another Spider-Verse team up in the MCU, most likely in the upcoming Disney Plus Secret Wars. Oh!
Yeah, I'm down. I'm down for it in a series as well. I don't care how we get it. Like, I want it. Let's do that.
A fan-made movement is taking over social media with a new trend surrounding superhero Andrew Garfield and has canceled The Amazing Spider-Man 3. Numerous reports suggest that Sony Pictures are also planning a solo story of Garfield's Marvel character in multiple projects, with The Amazing Spider-Man 3 undoubtedly being in the works.
Oh.
So the whole thing is like Okay, so this is the last thing I want to cover because I thought this would be really interesting. There was this moment in the movie where Andrew Garfield says, I was filled with rage and I didn't hold back anymore.
Yeah.
Basically, what he's talking about is a dark journey.
Yeah, it sounds like he killed some people.
We need to see that movie.
Yeah.
This can't just be a thing you talk about and it's off screen somewhere. Like, we need to see that movie. Like show, don't tell. And so,
like a Punisher style Spider-Man?
Yes. Oh. We need to see that film.
I'd be down to see that.
That would be a very compelling Spider-Man story that we haven't seen much of. And maybe that would feed too much into the darker trend of superhero stuff right now, like The Boys and all that stuff. I mean, I like The Boys. But, it is more on the cynical side, the darker side. And we are having The Batman coming out, which is already itself like a dark. And Marvel, Marvel has tended towards the more optimistic, positive, lighter side of things.
But I think also because PG-13 means that you can have more ticket sales.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So with the third installment of Sam Raimi's Spider-Man, that was supposed to be a dark movie. And that's how it was pitched to us. And it ended up being this goofy fest.
Yeah.
It's like, what the hell? Anything can happen. But if Andrew Garfield is coming back to do more Spider-Man films, that's the first thing I want to see. What the hell happened after Gwen died? And what was this rage that you went on? I need to see that movie.
Yeah.
So this one is interesting. I don't think that this is going to make its way into the movies, but man, if it did, I cannot. I would. It's just like this curiosity just to see the audience's reaction. I don't think it's going to happen though. Andrew Garfield reflects on Sony ignoring his idea to make Spider-Man bisexual.
Wow.
And this is very recent.
Oh.
So Andrew Garfield has always been frank about the disappointment he faced with the outcome of his Amazing Spider-Man duology, not in having embodied the legendary superhero, but in the creative and business decisions behind it. Now, as rumors swirl about his potential return, he's using renewed leverage to remind people of some of his past criticisms.
I did wonder about that. I wondered if he would have more power because I knew he had some criticisms about the movie or about the movies itself, the direction that they were taking. So I wondered if now that the fans are giving him so much support, if he can actually get some of this stuff done.
It's a banner week for Andrew Garfield talking strictly about Spider-Man and only Spider-Man in the most diplomatic manner possible. No, sir, nothing to see here in these quotes about this. Okay, obviously this predates the release of the movie. After reminding us that time is the prison in which we live and the forces of capitalism, its grim wardens. In another profile, the former Spidey decided to revisit his distaste for the corporate forces around his Amazing Spider-Man movies. This time, speaking with The Independent, Garfield didn't have it out for Sony's capitalism, but instead, it's biphobia. I worked harder than I've ever worked on anything on Spider-Man, and I'm really proud of it, but I didn't feel represented, Garfield said. There was an interview I gave where I said, why can't Peter explore his bisexuality in his next film? Why can't his girlfriend MJ be a guy? I was then put under a lot of pressure to retract that and apologize for saying something that is a legitimate thing to think and feel. So I said, okay, so you want me to make sure that we get the bigots and the homophobes to buy their tickets. Whoa.
Wow.
Garfield was potentially referring to a 2013 interview in the run-up to Amazing Spider-Man 2 with Entertainment Weekly where he had reflected the possibility that this incarnation of Peter Parker have a male romantic partner, challenging the previous acceptance that Spider-Man necessarily always had to be strictly heteronormative. What if MJ is a dude? Why can't we discover that Peter is exploring his sexuality? It's hardly even groundbreaking. So why can't he be gay? Why can't he be into boys? The actor had mused at the time before suggesting Michael B. Jordan as Peter's boyfriend.
And Wow.
And while the actor has touched upon the reaction to his comments in the past, to be candid enough to discuss how Sony itself had pressured the actor into retracting the comments certainly suggests a lot more ire he has for the studio beyond its presence in the existence of late-stage capitalism.
Oh, that's interesting. First of all, is that something that's in the comics?
I don't know.
But secondly, even if it's not in the comics, like Andrew Garfield said, why not?
If it's not in the comics, it's not going to go over well. I mean, I think that there'll be a subset of people that are going to be happy about it. Like, oh yeah, finally. But
remember how happy everyone was about Loki?
Well, that was in the comics, first off. That's
True.
That's part of the lore, because Loki has explored everything under the sun.
Yep.
Including a horse. But more importantly, we didn't see it.
That's true. That is true. We didn't actually see it. It was just mentioned.
It was mentioned, and every time Disney dips a toe in this, it's always this thing that just sort of happens and it's gone.
Right.
It's like, okay, for instance, in Star Wars, the what is it, The Rise of Jedis or something. The last one, I always mess up the name. The Rise of Skywalker.
Yeah.
We saw two women kiss, but it was in the background. It was like two atmosphere actors. It actually had a scene, I think, and there was a deleted scene with them, and that got cut. All we saw of them was them kissing in the background. Mm-hmm. And in Eternals, something similar happened where you saw this guy with one of the superheroes kiss, but like we didn't really know who that guy was. We didn't care about him. He didn't mean anything to us. The husband character?
Yeah.
Like,
Fastos, his husband.
He had like one line in the movie. Right? And so we didn't really give a shit when they kissed.
Their relationship wasn't explored as deeply. So we had no connection to him as a character and I guess to their relationship.
Whether it's in the comics or not, it comes down to Sony and their willingness to go there.
Sure, yeah. And I mean, like you said, I think that if it serves the story, if it doesn't become a thing where it's hindering the story at all, I'm all for it. Why not? And in fact, the pairing, he said, of Andrew Garfield and Michael B. Jordan, I'm like, yes, I'd watch that.
I think big studios are very reluctant to do this kind of thing because it will inhibit their ability to sell. If it's like slightly in the background or not extra emphasized, then you can still sell the movie. For instance, with Star Wars, Oscar Isaac and John Boyega tried to convince Disney to make their characters gay.
That's fine.
Yeah, no, it's not with Disney. In that particular instance, they didn't want that because it's going to inhibit their ability to sell as well.
Yeah, I get it. But I guess I'm also on the team of let's just normalize it all so that it starts.
You're not going to normalize it in the Middle East, ACHARA. And wherever I don't know where this movie's selling, but like the movie has to sell in China. It has to sell in certain parts of the world where they're very not accepting of that, right?
Well, that sucks, but yeah.
Well, it sucks. Whether it sucks or not that's a fact, and we can't. Like Americans can only do so much to like change that.
Well, yeah, if it's always about the dollar signs and it's not about actually making a movie that represents the world as we see it now.
Right. It would be incredibly groundbreaking if Spider-Man was bisexual or gay. That would be a phenomenal groundbreaking thing because it's extremely risky. It's not risky to have Fastos kiss his dude and then the movie moves on. It's just too much. There's no way it's going to happen. Andrew Garfield can throw a tantrum about it all he wants. It's not going to happen. You know what I mean?
Sure. But I mean, I support his idea.
I think it's so fascinating that happened. I had no idea that was a thing.
No, I didn't.
There's a curiosity I would have about that just because like, what? Like that, I don't see that happening. If it did, that would blow my mind.
I am open to this idea with Michael B. Jordan and Andrew Garfield.
It's not going to happen. But Andrew Garfield coming back as Spider-Man will happen.
Yes.
That's a def. That's a most def. He as much as he wants representation in, the films that he's doing, I'm fairly certain he's going to come back. So
it's happening, you guys. We made enough clamor.
Yeah.
Yes.
You guys, thanks so much for hanging out. Let us know your feelings in the comments below. I'm Jaby Koay. This is
ACHARA KIRK.
Peace out.